Breaking news here on Martyn Lucas Investor. This is always the concern with space stocks, and this is always the concern, and you have to be prepared. This could happen to Virgin Galactic. Don't take anything for granted that everything is safe in the world of space. It's very risky, very costly, and anything can happen. In the last few minutes, the stock was already just 80 cents. It's now down to 58. 32% drop. It's going private. Let me share with you the news. We've just found it. Thank you ever so much for my team and my members for sending this in, alerting me to this. I had no idea this was happening. It just happened seconds ago. Astra Space to be taken private. This has just happened few minutes ago. Let's read here. This is what has killed the stock. Now then, let's have a look. Astra Space announced today that it has entered into a definitive merger agreement pursuant to which the acquiring entity, the parent, has agreed, subject to customary closing conditions, to acquire all shares of Astra common stock not already owned but owned by it for 50 cents per share in cash. It's starting to find some support at the moment. It's just starting to come up again. On March the 6th, 2024, the closing price of Astra was 86. It completely crashed down at 58 cents, and it is starting to go back up. The parent was formed by Chris Kemp, Astra's co-founder, chief executive officer and chairman, and Dr. Adam London, Astra co-founder, chief technology officer and director. The parent expected to be owned and the closing of the transaction by a number of long-term investors of the company and its predecessors, including Mr. Kemp and Dr. London. And as we speak, it's going down again. So be very, 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 very careful. It's going down again. A special committee of the board of directors of the company, comprised solely of independent and disinterested directors, advised by its own independent financial and legal advisors, are taking into account Astra's current liquidity situation, among other factors, determined that the proposal transaction is the best interest of Astra and the holders of Astra common stock, other than Chris Kemp, Dr. Adam London, and their respective affiliates, and unanimously recommended that the board approve the transaction, acting upon the recommendation of the special committee. The board approved the transaction with Chris Kemp, Dr. Adam London, and Scott Stanford abstaining from the vote. Sherpa Ventures Fund, an affiliate of Scott Stanford, has agreed to contribute its Astra class common stock. Okay, there's a bit more information here. Do we need any more information? Yes, we do. The transaction is expected to close on the second quarter of 2024. It's now down to 55 cents, subject to customary closing conditions. The transaction has been approved by the written consent of the holders on the requisite number of shares of Astra's common stock, such that no additional stockholders' approval is required. There we go. Astra's mission is to improve life on Earth from space by creating a healthier and more connected planet. Today, Astra offers one of the lowest cost per launch dedicated orbital launch services and one of the industry's leading flight-proven electric propulsion systems for satellites, the Astra spacecraft engine. Okay, so what does this mean for you? Well, the stock now is 57 cents per share. We don't know. This is very different than the going bankrupt. It's not Chapter 11. This is not what happened to Virgin Orbit. Virgin Orbit, the whole thing was taken off. The whole thing was going down the toilet. This is different. This is being sold. The whole thing owned privately. It will be taken off the index. It'll be a privately owned company. Now, my experience of this is if you are an owner of a stock like this, you'll get hardly anything at all. That's my belief. That's what I have seen from experience. Every situation is different, I'm sure, but they will take the company off the stock market. They'll own the whole thing, and don't expect to get a great return. There's always a bit of time to get in and out of the stock. Look what happened to Virgin Orbit. Virgin Orbit, when we knew about Chapter 11, it popped up and down several times. There was opportunity to get out. Many people stayed in, though, because they thought, okay, we can save the company and so on and so forth. This is not financial advice, but my experience And so I'm going to share with you is if you are in this stock and you kind of feel lucky and you want to buy this drop, I wouldn't touch it. But if you were buying it and you do get a pop, you get out. You don't sit around thinking they'll save the company, they'll help me out, it'll all be good. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. However, if I was a gambling man, which I'm not, and I liked it and thought, well, I'm going to buy it, it's an overreaction, it's going to go up again, then yeah, it's not going to be delisted for a while. It's going to be here for a while. There's a time for all this to go forward, and there will be some up and down volatility, no doubt about it. We've got a reaction right now. Everyone's sold it. You could buy some, pop it up and get out. But if you are already in, of course, and it's caught you unawares, what do? Do you sell for a loss? Do you add to your position, lower the average and get out? I mean, that's how I could have made money with Virgin Orbit. And I did make some money like that. Didn't make all of it. I was hoping for it to be, brought back from the dead. But this is different. That was going into bankruptcy. This is just going private. But my experience of this is when a company goes private, the shareholders don't get anything. It's really not good for you. So if you're already in, you have a choice. You sell out now. That's what a lot of people have already done, and get out whatever you can. Option number one. Option number two, you add to your position, lower the average and wait for some sort of pop. There might be something. Very often there will be, because people will see it as a scalp position opportunity. There's always that chance. Or if you're not in the stock and you are a gambling type person, you could buy some now, wait for a small little pop, as people will try to get in and out of the stock and you get some money out of it. But if I was giving financial advice, which I'm not and I can't and I won't, I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole. There's just better ways of making money without the risk involved. So there you go. There will be some volatility here. There will be some opportunity, but it is playing a roulette wheel. Ultimately, the stock will go. It won't be on the exchange anymore and it'll all be over. But between now and then, there will probably be days when it pops up and down. That's my thoughts. We'll keep our eye on it and we'll watch it. Click above my head for more information down below in the description. Maybe join us for after hours tonight for the 24-hour stream and have your say, and we'll watch how it goes in the after hours. There could be some movement. Up and down here for more videos I think you'll find useful in the series. Be very careful. The stock doesn't know you own it. It couldn't care less. One day it's here, next day it's gone. It won't be knocking on your door to say sorry. No one cares. We care. I care. My viewers care. But the stock and the people at the company don't care about you, the investor. Be very careful. Till next time, take care of yourselves and each other.